All right, kicker talk, because we don't have kickers in regular season DFS, but for single game we do. And kickers are actually really good plays in single game DFS when you assume that things slant one way or another. So in my Chiefs lineups where I think that they roll, Harrison Butker is going to be in 80 to 90% of those. I think that's the way I want to view it, is my exposure to these guys in various builds. If I assume the 49ers roll, Robbie Gould will be in nearly 100% of those lineups because they don't have a lot of guys who are going to score points in that scenario. Gould will, because he'll get some field goals. He will get extra points. So I think that in the neutral script, they're harder to get to because it's more of a back and forth thing. And if it's a shootout, that implies there are touchdowns scored versus field goals. So when it's a lineup where I assume that one team does well, probably going to have a kicker. If I assume it's more neutral, probably not. How are you viewing the kickers for this game?
Yeah, it's news. Like it's a new thing again to have kickers on FanDuel in the single game format.
They never went nowhere, but they're saying kickers back.
I'm sure that's a reference that I don't get, so I'm just gonna laugh through it.
It is a friend of FanDuel, Ludacris.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's from the Blizzard Man sketch on Saturday Night Live.
I'm sure that is his most famous thing, yes.
Yeah, I mean, kickers, it's one of those, I think for me, the kicker situation comes most in like the assumption lineups. And look, my baseline assumption, my instinct is that this game goes over. That's what a lot of the bets are. But this is like a 20 to 14 game. I guess I shouldn't say 20 to 13 game. So like some extra field goals.
Yeah.
Like not a lot of people are going to build their lineups and think, you know what, this game's going to be terrible and it's going to be decided based on field goals. So I'm not necessarily advocating stacking the kickers, but it's a very cheap way to get some exposure. And frankly, it's clearly a real outcome that this game hits the under, and then you're burning a lot of lineups where you're just loading up on everyone who's not a kicker, that there aren't touchdowns. And
trying to remember last year, I don't think that the double kicker lineup would have been the optimal, but like it very well could have been had like the Rams scored a couple more field goals, which was possible. So like it is within the range of outcomes. I don't think I'll have a double kicker lineup just because if one kicker does well, that implies this team is ahead, which implies the other team is behind, which implies they're not going to settle for field goals as often. So I don't think I'll have a double kicker lineup, but like you said, it is possible that could be the optimal there.
I'll have a few because again, people aren't going to play it's a very easy game to get excited about, and people aren't going to like expect it to be 16-13.
Right.
And if it is,
I could use Deebo Samuel, who's really fun, or Robbie Gould is only $500 more. So you're right.
That's exactly what I'm saying. No,
you're right.
There very few people are going to project this game to be super low scoring with not a lot of touchdowns, and it's going to be kicker heavy. And I understand how if one kicker does well, it implies the other kicker's not doing well, but field goal battles do exist, and we don't know what to expect. We can think we know what to expect, but it's, again, well within the range of outcomes that this game disappoints and there are a lot of field goals. So I do think that it's viable. It's obviously not going to be something that I do frequently, but
it's in play.
It's in play.
You can do it. It's a good strategy.
Jim won't, but I'll do it.
No, you can't. No, it's a good strategy. So if you win, I will be happy for you. I guess there's that.